Get in. We're doing mock drafts. Grossi, Bossy, Packer Nation. Welcome to an episode of Pancast, a podcast where you don't have to be Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. That's right, it's mock drafts, and I'm also away still, so when you're seeing this, I'm probably cold. Grossi, and today we are going to be doing a 3-round Packers mock draft. We're going to do a couple of these. We'll do a full 7-rounder as well, but as we're getting closer and closer to the 2024 NFL draft, which is right around the corner, it's time to get started here. Now, the Packers, they have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds, and so they have a lot of ammunition they can move around. They have multiple picks in the second round. Thank you, Jets, for that whole Aaron Rodgers thing, even though it could have been a first. The MetLife turf. So I just did one of these on PFF. I usually use a variety of different mock draft sites for different videos, just so you could get some different mock draft analysis from different sites because they completely and totally vary. But here, this one was PFF, and starting off with the Green Bay Packers' first pick at number 25, I'm having them go with Amarius Mims from Georgia. He's a tackle, starting right tackle for Georgia the past couple years, and good God, this guy is a monster build. 6'8", 340 pounds. And right off the bat, you look at that and go, yeah, that could work out. And the Packers right now could definitely bolster that offensive line. I wouldn't say it's the #1 need right now, but considering they lost David Bakhtiari, right, Rasheed Walker there at left tackle, who I think held up pretty darn nicely last season, it's good to, 1, have the depth there, and 2, to take a shot on a guy so athletically gifted. It could work out pretty well. Now, there are some downsides. He only has 2 years of experience, and there's some injury concerns. Even at the combine, he tweaked his right hamstring. But overall, this kind of athleticism and this build doesn't come around very often. You don't have a 6'8" offensive lineman. He's well-versed at right tackle, and if he can fit on that offensive line, yeah, that'd be a pretty damn good pick. Then, with their first second-round pick at number 41, I'm going with Tyler Nubin, the safety from Minnesota, 6'1", 199 pounds. I actually got to speak with Tyler Nubin at the NFL Combine. He was a great dude to talk to, and I would not mind this at all. Now, he did grow up in Chicago as a Bears fan, so we can't hold that against him, but he did say he would like to be on the winning side of that for once, so there's a home for you in Green Bay. And why Tyler Nubin? Well, he's one of the best safeties in the class. You have guys like Cooper DeJean, who is super athletic, who could play safety or corner. Nubin would definitely be playing as a safety, and what I like about him, besides his skills, is that he's kind of a ball hawk as well. In 2021, he had 3 interceptions. In 2022, he had 4 interceptions. And in 2023, guess how many he had? That's right, 5 interceptions. And so just having him there in a position of need, because while the Packers did get Xavier McKinney, they need somebody else back there as well. Tyler Nubin would go a long way in solving that backfield problem, and while they definitely need to still look at corner, depending on what's going on with Eric Stokes, Nubin here fulfills a need. He's a great player, and I would love if he was available at 41. Then with pick number 58, we're going with Edgerrin Cooper, the linebacker all the way from Texas A&M, and here's the thing. The Packers need a middle linebacker, and yes, he kind of has this build where he could play off the edge, but he mostly played as an off-the-ball linebacker when he was at Texas A&M. 6'2", 230 pounds, and this guy, oh, his tackling is good. He hits you like a ton of bricks. 84 tackles, 17 for a loss last season, 8 sacks, ran a 4.51 at the combine. The guy has great speed, and I wouldn't be surprised if Cooper is gone by the time the Packers are picking here at 58. But as we were just talking about, the Packers have a drastic need for middle linebacker right now. They have Quay Walker, they have McDuffie, but they need somebody else there. And so whether it's going to be a day 1 or a day 2 pick, I imagine the Packers are going to address that need relatively early in the draft. Cooper, while definitely not perfect, I think is worth a flyer here at 58. I know the Packers probably don't want to spend another first-round pick on an off-the-ball linebacker, but Cooper not only fills a need, but as I said before, you could always use some good tacklers. So yeah, Cooper here would definitely go a long way for that Packers defense, and I'd be excited to see how Jeff Hafley would utilize him. Then in round 3 with pick number 88, yes, there is totally some bias here, I'm having them go running back with Ray Davis from Kentucky. Now, I talked about Ray Davis in the Combine video, and I also spoke to him at the Combine. Just an amazing story, but Story aside, he's a damn good football player. Ran all over Florida last year, but that wasn't all. Ran nearly 200 times for over 1,100 yards, had 14 touchdowns on the ground. But here's why I like Ray Davis. Also caught 33 passes for over 300 yards and 7 touchdowns. So the reason I'm a big fan of Ray Davis besides his story is because the Packers definitely need a receiving running back right now. Of course, they got Josh Jacobs, who's going to be RB1. They brought back A.J. Dillon on a 1-year deal. And they have Emmanuel Wilson, who we still have yet to see what his skill set really is. Ray Davis could come in and a 3rd-round pick and immediately make an impact as an RB2. Because who knows what's going to happen with Dillon in camp. There's kind of no consequences if they wind up cutting him. And I would love Ray Davis in this spot. You would kind of have a thunder and thunder running back, but also having a receiving threat would be crucial for the Packers because Aaron Jones is gone and you need somebody to fill that void. I think Ray Davis would go a long way in doing that. And so here, I would love him at 88. And with pick number 91, I have them going corner here with Cam Hart from Notre Dame. 6'3", 202 pounds, so definitely a sizable corner. But I do like this pick at 91 because, yes, they have Jair Alexander. They brought back Keyshawn Nixon. They had Carrington Valentine last year, who played pretty darn well. You just don't know about Eric Stokes. And until that gets resolved, I think they're going to need at least some depth there. And here with Hart at 6'3", 202 pounds, and he already has a track record of covering some great receivers at the college level, maybe that can transfer over. And again, he wouldn't be thrown right into the fire immediately. So for their last day 2 pick, I like that they would address secondary here. They could go wide receiver, they could go D-line, but Hart for me was the best prospect that was available at this pick. And so yeah, going with Cam Hart. Let's see if he's got the heart for the Packers. That was lame. And so if the cards actually fell this way, the Packers would be drafting 2 offensive pieces and 3 defensive pieces. And you'd be looking at me going, Tom, why are we investing so much in the defense again? Because we just got to pray that things are going to be different this time. They will, right? But let me know what you think down in the comments below. You know, I saw me at Tom Grossi Comedy. All social media is see down below. A big shout out and thank you to all the patrons and YouTube members for supporting this channel. And thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack, go.